Hey guys, I'm Lon. Welcome to our channel. From the title of today's video, as you can see, we are going to be talking about the essentials you need for the second half of your child's life. So really around that 6-month age, what you're going to need for the second half. So I am a first-time mommy to a beautiful baby girl. Her name is Aniya. She was born December the 22nd, 2019. So she is 7 months, going to be 8 months this month. It's hard to actually believe that she is just so old. She is getting older and older, and it's making me sadder and sadder. But anyway, I wanted to create this video because, like many of you who are probably watching this video, you're a first-time mom, and the amount of information and research and support that you can get as a first-time mom is just so necessary. Like, you need all the support that you can get, all the information that you can get to help you become prepared. And so one of the things that I feel like my husband and I weren't quite prepared for was that like 4 to 6 month stage. It really creeps up on you so fast, and you have to roll with the punches and roll with the changes. Okay, so before I get into this video, if you're watching this video and you know someone who is expecting or someone who is currently a first-time mom, stop what you're doing, share this video with them right now, because all the information that I'm going to give is fresh on my mind, because I'm still a first-time mom, and I have all this, my baby is not that old. I have all this going on, and yeah, I just want to share the wealth. I just want to share the wealth with my first-time mom community. Okay, so let's get right into it. So as a first-time mom, when you have that baby shower, or even if you don't have a baby shower, people just give you stuff. A lot of people focus on that newborn stage, like newborn 0 to 3 month. Like, a lot of the gifts that you get are gonna be for that stage. And I would say you don't need that much stuff for a newborn. Okay, a newborn, they're new. They can't do anything. All they do is cry and whine. They're not babbling. They want milk. They need clothes, hats, socks, swaddles. But you don't really need that much as a newborn parent. Really a little bit later when that stuff start adding up. Okay, so let's start out at the 4 to 6 month, and I have my phone because I have it written down. So around the 4 to 6 month, your baby is starting to mature a little bit more. They're not quite like a baby, but they're not quite like a newborn either. So during that 4 to 6 month stage, they kind of start to smile at you. They start babbling. They start rolling. They start being a little bit more active, a little bit more vocal. Some people, some babies might be trying to sit up and stuff like that. So during that stage, you're going to need essential items to further their development, to help develop that rolling and babbling and rolling and babbling and sitting up and stuff like that. So I have it organized between food, toys, teething, and essentials. So let's start out with essentials. Number one, if you don't have a lot of diapers, now is the time you're going to want to start to buy those diapers and those wipes in bulk. Okay, it's no use in going to Target and getting those little plastic packs. No, you need to go down to the bottom of the shelf and get the big boxes of diapers. Okay, because you're going to go through diapers so fast. It's no use in keep going to Target. Just stock up on their current size and the next size. So thankfully, at my daughter's baby shower, we had a diaper raffle where people bring you diapers, and in exchange you give them a raffle ticket, and everyone gets into that raffle to get a prize at the end of the shower. So thankfully, we had diapers from newborn all the way up to size 4, and we've only had to purchase 1 box of diapers once, and that's for size 2. So we are blessed in that department. But if you don't have a lot of diapers, you need to buy at least 2 boxes probably of the diaper size that they're in right now, and a diaper size for the immediate next size, because they grow so quick and then you're like, oh snap, these diapers no longer fit, and you're gonna need that next size, okay? And then with the wipes, thank God the wipes are a little bit less expensive than the diapers. So the wipes, you can get like the real big size. Like I think it's like, we got like a few of the 1,000 count boxes, and diapers, they go a little bit, not diapers, wipes, they go a little bit longer than the diapers, so those last even longer. So I would say stock up probably like 3 or 4 boxes, so you don't even have to worry about that. What I found as a first-time mom, I know everyone's preference is different, but what I found as a first-time mom, that it didn't really matter to me in the beginning stages. So newborn Pampers and size 1 Pampers, it didn't matter to me if it was Huggies or if it was the Pampers brand. Now that Aniya is much older, like I said, she's almost 8 months and she's in size 2, she's peeing a little bit more frequently, and it's much more pee and poop than it was in the beginning. So right now I prefer Huggies Pampers, okay? And that's because Huggies are a little bit more, they're a little bit more thick. The quality of a Huggies Pamper versus a Pampers brand Pamper is different. You can definitely feel the difference between a Pampers and Huggies. So I would recommend, and that's just my personal preference, so you do what works for you, but I find that the Huggies are much better in this stage of life because she's now sleeping longer throughout the night. We're not going in to change her frequently throughout the night, so you need something that's substantial, that is going to last your child throughout the night or for those long stretches when you need it best, okay? So there you go for diapers and wipes, okay? Moving on to food, okay? So during this stage, sometimes people introduce their child to solids as early as 4 months. We didn't start introducing Aniya to solids until about 6 months. So during this time, we realized like, oh snap, we're really underprepared for her like food experiences. So first of all, starting out, if you are not already CPR certified, then I would recommend you to get CPR certified, or if you are CPR certified, to do a refresher course, because the last time that we did CPR training was before Aniya was born, back in December. But now that she's going to have things in her mouth where she could possibly choke, then you want to remember what techniques there are, you know, in CPR. So definitely do that first before you start giving your child solids. That way you're not like freaking out. If something happens, you can just go right into go mode, okay? The next thing I would say is, and you can even do this before the 6-month stage, is start researching what feeding method you want to start with your baby. So some people start their child off with rice cereal, you know, like the little flakes that you put the water in and it turns into a cereal. Some people do purees, and then some people do baby-led weaning. Baby-led weaning is when you give your child like chunks of soft food and they basically learn how to feed themselves. So you want to research all 3 of those, the rice cereal, the baby food, baby-led weaning, and figure out what best suits you. All right, so with feeding comes all of the feeding things that you need. So you're going to need a high chair. You are going to need cups. You might need the baby bullet, the little blender thing if you want to make your own child's purees. You want those catch-all bibs, so like the silicone bibs that has that little pocket on the bottoms to catch all the food so it's not all over your floor. You may want the mat, that clear mat that goes under your baby's high chair so they don't mess up your nice rugs and hardwood and stuff like that. You're also going to need bowls, silverware, or the rubber like plasticware that you feed the babies with, and you're going to need bigger bottles, okay? So all these things we were not prepared for. We had the silverware and we had the bowls, we had the cups, and we didn't have the high chair. And so it's nice to just have all this stuff ready and at hand so that when you're ready, you can just go and get it for your baby and they already have it and they are ready to start trying solids, okay? So moving on to toys. So as your child grows, you're gonna see that the toys that they were using at 3 months are definitely not the same toys that they want to use at 6 months, okay? They are developing so much more every single day that those little baby toys don't faze them. They're not interactive enough. They're not engaging enough. They don't capture and keep their attention. So you want to start getting things that are appropriate for their development. So for example, if your child is learning to sit up, you might benefit from a boppy pillow. Whereas in the beginning, I was using the boppy pillow around myself to help breastfeed. Now at 5 and 6 months, I'm using that boppy as a support pillow for my child to sit up, you know? So that's how you can transition certain things to where your child's development is right now. So I would recommend a boppy. I would recommend a bouncer. Around that 6 month stage, they are learning. Actually, you know what? It was about it was like 5 months when I was noticing that Aniya liked to kick a lot. And so those leg muscles need to strengthen so that they can learn to crawl and then eventually learn to walk. And so a bouncer is really great for that. If they're constantly bouncing and flexing those leg muscles, the leg muscles are only going to get stronger to help them crawl and walk later. So I would recommend a bouncer. I would also recommend a play mat. So the mats where they can sit back or do some tummy time with the toys hanging down from the top. Those, I know my child really likes that. It helps her reach up and grab. It also helps with her depth perception. So how close does she think an object is, or how far away does she think an object is? It helps her with that. It helps her to see her colors, and it helps her focus in on different things. She also pulls down on things to bite on it if she's teething. So that is very helpful. And then blocks and tangible objects. So when they start to get in that between 4 to 6, 7 month age, they're learning how to grasp things with their gross motor skills. So they're learning how to grab big objects. So now Aniya can hold her bottle with both hands, or she can grab big blocks or big objects, and you want them to be able to work on those motor skills, which will in turn help them later when they're trying to feed themselves or pick up. This is called the pincer or the pincher grab. When they're trying to pick up little pieces of food, that will eventually help them with that. What I'm also noticing as a first time mom that I wish I would have noticed a little bit earlier, but hey, we're all learning together. I would do away with all of the plasticky, non-educational, flashy toys, okay? What I'm trying to move into now is getting Aniya what you call Montessori toys, the more educational toys that actually help her develop skills. The bouncer, yes, the bouncer will help her. But for example, I have a toy where she's playing the piano with her feet. Even though that might have been a good purchase at maybe 3 or 4 months, now I want to get her things I'll insert some pictures, the little ring where she can take the ring and focus on putting it down the hook, or like I said, the blocks, which are helping her motor skills, or I can't think of them right now, but I definitely want to focus more on toys that are more educational and help her with her development, rather the toys that are just going to keep her busy. I would recommend that. What you choose to do is what you decide to do, but that's what I would recommend, because you want their mind to be stimulated, and you want them to really think and analyze things, and not just have to push something so that the light lights up. Like, what is that going to do for her? Nothing. Once she pushes it a couple of times, she knows that she can push it and the light will light up. But after that, it's just pretty redundant, and those types of things don't even stimulate her anymore. And I'm learning that now. So we bought her a ton of toys for like that 4 to 5 month stage. But I think that when we gotta get her new toys between now and like 8 or 9 months, they're definitely going to be the more educational driven toys. Okay, the last stage that I want to talk about is teething. So your baby can teeth really early. Just because they're teething, that does not mean that their teeth are going to come in immediately after teething. Okay, and then also, just because they're teething, it does not mean that they're in agony. Okay, so usually they're not really in agony until the tooth is really like sprouting through. That's when you kind of get the fevers or the diarrhea, and like the crying and the whining and stuff like that. So Aniya has been teething since like 4 months, almost immediately, like literally when she turned 4 months. Tons of drool, tons of sticking her hand in her mouth, biting on everything. We're trying to keep things out of sight so she doesn't put certain things in her mouth. So that teething stage can last quite a while. She just sprouted her first tooth just a few days ago. So she's been teething from 4 months until 7 months. And it wasn't until 7 months that I can actually visually see her tooth that broke through her gums, okay? So for the teething stage, I would recommend pacifiers, teething toys, and baby medicine if you choose. So pacifiers, Aniya stopped using her pacifier around like 3 or 4 months. She doesn't even take it anymore. But some babies do like the pacifier, and some babies, they like to just like chew on it or bite on it. So that'll help them relieve that teething irritation. Also, the teething toys. So it took us a few trips to Amazon before we figured out what type of teething toys Aniya liked. So we started out with the traditional teething ring, you know, the ring that you put in the freezer and then you take it out and they can bite on it. That teething ring, she didn't like that one. It was a little bit too big for her mouth, and at the time she really couldn't like grab and hold, so that required her to hold on to it, which she really didn't like. We really had to hold it to her mouth, so that one didn't work. So because of that, we then moved on to a different one, which was like a teething pacifier. It was almost like a mouth guard that you just kind of put in her mouth, and so she can just like bite down on it. That was okay, but I think she was also really weirded out by that because she thought it was a pacifier and then you put it in her mouth and then it's not a pacifier, so she was weirded out by that. And so finally Henry found these little, and I'll insert pictures, he found these little like, I don't know, y'all see it on the screen. It's like the little fruit on the one side, and then she can hold on to the fruit stem. She really likes that at this stage because I think we got that around 5.5, 6 months when she could grab. So now she likes those. She grabs it and she bites on it when she wants to. She picks it up when she wants to. And so they all have different textures. So like the strawberry one has tiny little dotted ridges. The grape one is kind of like bumpy and soft. So she likes those different ones. So we finally found teethers that work for her. Lastly is baby medicine. So actually, from the entire time that Aniya's been teething, from 4 months all the way up until now, there has not been a time where she was crying in pain because of her gums. Even when, that's why I didn't know that her tooth was coming in, because even when her tooth came in up through the gums, she wasn't crying. She was never crying. So I don't know what's going on with our baby, but she was never crying. So thankfully we've never really had to use Tylenol. But if your child is crying or in pain, or you don't know if they will be, then definitely have that Tylenol on hand to help them release some of that pain and some of that agony, and just help them be a little bit more comfortable. So I really hope that this video helped you guys. I know I was doing a lot of talking, but I really hope that this video was educational and informational, and it helped you guys as a first time or an expecting mom about all the things that you can not only really expect with your baby's development around this half-year mark, but also all the items that you need during this half-year mark. It's like, y'all, we literally need a whole nother baby shower for the 6-month stage and up, because yeah, the kids are just like growing at rapid paces. Okay, it's like you literally can't even keep up. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any follow-up questions or any other questions about products that I recommend, then drop them down in the comments and I'll be answering questions in the comments. You can also DM me on Instagram at Mrs. Lawn, and I'll link that down below. Well, it's always linked down below in the description box. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. We will see you in our next one. Peace.